Good afternoon all. It was very nice presentation by my colleague Krunal. So he has given you an overview like what has been implemented at Maharashtra State Data Center and how we are still evaluating and doing a further steps of building a DR and other strategies for the Maharashtra State Data Center. So I would just like to spend some time on just giving an overview like what VMware is all about and where we are headed towards a cloud computing so-called, and where we are engaging with Maharashtra State Data Center for the further projects as well. Yeah, to start with, just to give a company overview, if you talk about VMware, we are the fastest IT growing company, infrastructure growing company. Just to give an example in that, we were in 2005, we were around $200 million company, cash, right? But in just a period of 6 years, now we are 4.5 billion cash company. Because there are only 3 success factors or 3 mantras what we believe to grow exponentially, and that is innovation, innovation, and just innovation. These are the 3 key things which we believe in ourselves, and because of that, if you see, VMware is a customer proven market leader. If it talks about virtualization, all the customers today chooses or they have preferred that VMware should be the first platform whenever they talk about the virtualization, and because of this today we have 300,000 plus customers across worldwide. If you just talk about India, we have some approximately 4,000 plus customers. At the right hand side you can see that there are some few names of the customers who are using the VMware, and we are present across verticals in terms of banking sectors, government sectors, BFSI, and other departments as well. Right. So as per the study of the Gartner also, across the globe, the number of virtual servers which has been implemented, 81% plus is, out of those VMs are running on VM environment. So we have a predominantly major market share. Approximately as of now, 2012 and 2013, we are approximately 84% market share when it talks about the virtualization infrastructure, virtualization environment. So how we do have, VMware is also having a great or one of the best ecosystem in the market today, because whenever we engage with the customers, we are a 100% partner driven company. So whatever transactions we do or whatever we do through our partner. So it is very essential or important for VMware that their partners has to be technically sound and certified, and they has to be aware of all the VMware technologies which is available today. So we run a program for partners where they get trained and certified on VMware technology. So in terms of partner, we have some 2,000 plus technology partners. Also, when it comes about the service provider, because today the trend is to go towards cloud or to host their application in the public clouds. So we have some 70 plus public service providers who you can choose across the globe and put your workloads, because those service providers are also using VMware as a platform. So you can choose any of these service providers. There is a icon as per your requirement, and you can put your workload on the cloud service provider up there. Also, in terms of the channel partners, we have some 25,000 plus channel partners, and in the VMware professional services or VMware RAM, we have some 59,000 or 50,000 plus VMware professional partners. So together on the mix of all the efforts in terms of the partners, the VMware services and technology, we make sure that we give a collaborative or a combined commitment to the customer and make sure that the customer get bets out of it. There is no compromise in the solutions or the efforts or the technology which is provided to the customer. Also to give a glimpse of their presence in the government or the public sector, and it is a privilege and honor to have government of Maharashtra in our reference customer. Like what Kunal was mentioning about that, we had approached sir, and because of the vision that Rajesh sir, IT sir had having in his vision that he wants the entire SDC to be fully automotive, cloud initiative, and he was seeing the that approach that very soon the infrastructure is going to grow, and it has to be grown in such a way that all the resources been utilized in much efficient way and automated way. So that is why we had approached sir to give us a chance and opportunity that we can do our demonstration of our virtualization platform and run some few applications and see how it works. So when the POC was done in November, and slowly we had started with 2 applications, 3 applications, 4 applications, and so forth, and today today, I'm happy to say that, we have seen the figures already, that we are running some more than 140 applications, which is all production application on VMware. And, all application is working, smoothly without any issues, and all the maintenance activity or the plant downtime activity or all the hardware maintenance activity, which was a pain and creating a lot of downtime in the physical environment, now that is gone. We have, because of the VMware solutions. So they have started with the bare virtualization, environment. We're just starting to virtualize the environment, but today they are completely using a private cloud in their own setup. Not only they're using the virtualization technology to virtualize the applications, along with that they are also using the monitoring applications, which also monitors the entire virtual infrastructure, saying that what is the health of the infrastructure, whether the utilizations of the virtual infrastructure is optimum or not optimum, what is the risk, what is the capacity analysis of the entire infrastructure, when the capacity will be scarce and when they can have to increase the capacity. So all that monitoring capabilities is there. Along with that, they are also using the automation technology of self-service portal, where they have initiated the cloud and currently it is running and it is given, and we have now in a next step to give the cloud service portal to the end departments. So the department, they will log into the portal and they will start creating the VMs by themselves. So the complete solution along with the chargeback mechanism, that is a metering solution. We have already seen the rate contract which they are giving to the end departments. So starting from a journey to start the virtualization and migrate the physical workload to virtual to the private cloud setup, I'm thankful to Secretary Sir that they have chosen VMware as a platform, and we will always make sure that we are up to the toes and deliver our best. And the next plan of action or the next commitment we have already done with Sir is have to work on the BCP DR and the desktop virtualization piece, which is obviously Sir will see in the next results. So that was just a glimpse of the government of Maharashtra, but along with that we have also other public sectors also using virtualization technology. Also, if you see why there is a change in our mode of moving towards this technology, because if you see in the traditional environment, what we are used to is a desktop centric device where all our application was being used on a desktop, where the application was very thick or very not lightweighted applications, and we were used to that. But slowly what we have intended that we have to move from a desktop centric to a user centric, where I wanted to access my application from anywhere, any device. The application should be very light code, and it can be accessed in very faster way, and all this has to be done available in no matter of time. So because of all this requirement, what traditionally what we have also have to do at the underline is to have an infrastructure which is from a traditional, which is a very silos of infrastructure, to do a technology where we can start consolidating all the physical into few servers using the virtualization technology, over and above utilizing or efficiently utilizing the infrastructure, and doing an auto provisioning, auto scaling mechanism where we can use this hardware or the pool in much efficient way and move towards cloud. So this is what made a key initiative for all the customers today to go towards cloud computing for efficient pooling and on-demand scaling and all these things. So today VMware is involved in complete transformation of the IT data center. Starting with the infrastructure layer, where as we have already done this first layer at the government of Maharashtra State Data Center, we have already done the first layer where we have touched the infrastructure piece. We have consolidated all their physical infrastructures or all their physical servers into few servers. Currently what they are seeing, 24 to 25 physical servers are there, which is running some 300, 350 plus virtual servers, which is all in production environment. So we have saved a lot of physical infrastructures, power, cooling, or capex, opex cost, and by using the further modules like automations and monitoring and everything, now we are running a private cloud setup in the DIT of Maharashtra. So this is the first layer which we touch upon. The second layer, once the infrastructure is fully automated, cloud ready and everything, the applications also has to be cloud ready. Because today, if I give you a best in class services that you can run an optimum application on this physical hardware, because this hardware is highly scalable, highly efficient in terms of providing the resources, the application should also understand I am an on demand, I can scale, or on demand I can increase it should be very light in code. The framework has to be designed in such a way that it can be easily accessible, easily portable in any of the platform, be it a private cloud or a public cloud or any service provider. So VMware has a solution where you can develop your application using a Spring, as a Spring framework, where you can develop and design your application, which is very light in weight and light in code, so that this application can be easily be portable within your data center or outside your data center, which is using the public service providers. And last thing is, once the application is also very light in weight and easily accessible, I want to access my application or my services from anywhere. I don't need to stick to a single desktop or a laptop. I wanted to access my application from any device, be it a laptop, an iPad, or a mobile device. So that application is, easy, scalable, portable, so that I can access it from anywhere. That is the cloud ready applications. And last thing is the accessibility. So I can access it from anywhere, any device, and in a secure manner. Gone are the days, because now what we are hearing from the customer, like if you are accessing an internet, whenever I wanted to save my data, today we have a facility of a Dropbox where you can access our emails and you can store something at a Dropbox facility where you can get a free space of maybe 5 GB to 50 GB, whatever. But customer is always having back in the mind that what about the security of the data? I am getting a space somewhere in the cloud where I can access my emails, or I can access my application, I can save the data at the Dropbox, but the data is not secure. Some of the customer is getting that at the back of the mind. So today VMware has a solution where you can have the same Dropbox kind of facility within your own perimeter network, which is secure. So today, once your application is virtualized, it is a cloud ready application, you have the facility of a Dropbox kind of facility in your own parameter network, so you can access from your application from anywhere, any device, and you can just, in the matter of a laptop and iPad, you can access the application and the data is available at Dropbox, which is in your parameter network. So that is kind of transformation which VMware is already working on it, and this is what the customer is adopting. So be it the infrastructure layer, the application layer, or the end user desktop layer, which all these three pillars is having a footprint of VMware. And we have covered the first layer, that is infrastructure layer, DIT of Maharashtra. The next two layers are in what pipeline or are in process of implementing at the DIT. Right. So as I was mentioning about why we are doing this trend, because this is what the trend we have seen in the market. If you see the deployment of the physical servers along with the deployment of the virtual servers from the last 5 years, the requirement or the need of deploying these servers is more towards virtual rather than physical. People are more deploying the virtual environment because they have seen the benefits out of virtualizing, of saving the capex, power, and all this cost. But this is also one thing that now people have started more on deploying virtual machines. There is something which has to be automated. I can deploy a virtual machine because I have that facility, I have that virtualization layer, but I don't need to do it on and going basis. I wanted to use some automation techniques and methods through which I can use an automation way and start deploying on its own, automatic increasing, automatic decreasing the resource and everything, right? So this is the next steps what we are seeing in the market, and where VMware is providing all these solutions towards the market. And in terms of virtualization of the workload, in 2008 we were saying that there were out of the entire physical infrastructure, there were 25% plus of workload which was virtualized. In 2012 this number went to 60%, but in 2012 or maybe in future, what we are saying that 90% plus of the virtualization or the workloads would be virtualized, and the demand would be in quick way. So where VMware is heading towards now is to create something, because we have already done the infrastructure layer, application layer, and the end user layer. The next future or the next roadmap where VMware is working to define something called a software defined data center, where we have already virtualized the physical hardware, which is servers, but what about the network and what about storage? So VMware is towards this direction where we can also, using our modules, we can also virtualize the network, physical network and physical data store or physical storage, so that the time which was taken earlier of deploying a virtual machine through template was maybe 5 minutes. My VM is ready, but whatever time the storage vendor or network vendor will take to create a data store and allocate to a virtual machine or to create an IP address, all that time also gets eliminated, and I can do everything from just one single console, right from deploying a VM to creating a data store and to create an IP address. Everything can be done from a matter of just one click. So that is where people are more focused and more oriented, and VMware is driving towards there. So after you virtualize and you use all these technologies, there are definitely 3 core benefits. First thing is you reduce the complexity in the environment. Basically, of reducing the silos of hardware or physical data center rack space, which is in traditional environment. You reduce that by putting virtualization technology and running everything in just few servers. And by using the automations and virtualization technology, you can easily access the resources based on demand, efficient resource, and based on the automation technologies. And at the last, because of you are having all this automations and on-demand pooling and scaling of the resources, you can make sure that you are accessing these services and IT. What we are making the IT as a service point of view. So there is an agility in the business, and ultimately IT would also be seen as a accessibility, where you can have IT as a not a cost-centric sector. It is like a savings in the overall infrastructure. So once you do at the 3 layers, basically there are also financial benefits out of it. First thing is, once you reduce the overall infrastructure, there is a huge savings of capex cost for the first phase. For server virtualization, in terms of 50-60% of the capex cost you save over there. Approximately 20 to 25% of OPEX cost you save, because once you virtualize, you reduce the overall hardware footprint to few servers, but still use those physical hardware in much efficient way and give out of it, because the resources are already available on those physical hardware. What we are doing is just virtualizing and making that hardware to work more efficiently, and thereby reduce the overall capex cost in terms of power, cooling, hardware, rack space, and everything. And earlier, there was, for example, 10 to 12 engineers to manage a set of 100 or 200 or 400 servers. Once it has been using a virtualized technology and using much in efficient way, you are also reducing the number of administration or the man hours which has been spent. Because now everything is virtual automation, then why would require more man hours to do the same kind of job which they were doing in traditional environment? So that man hours or that people can be used in much efficient way in some other business initiatives, and thereby increase their productivity by that much percentage, right? And as there are the key initiative that everything has to be a greenfield environment, that they can save some carbon footprint and increase the overall efficiency of the carbon. So VMware, once you reduce the overall hardware, you are also saving lot of carbon footprint, and at the end you are returning back to the carbon credits and saving there as well. So this is all benefits or the results of the transformation to the environment. At the end, we are always hearing about the cloud computing. So, but in cloud computing, there are various models which we have discussed earlier as well. That when is a private cloud, public cloud, and other cloud service provider. Currently, what DIT of Maharashtra or SDC is running is IT as a service and public as a services, where they have set up their own private cloud and giving these two services to their end department or the end users. But in the market, there are also various public service providers which like to host these services from the external customers and host their services in the public service provider. Apart from this, there are some platform as a services which runs in this public service providers. But what we are focusing is on, rather than using software as a service from one vendor, then public providers will offer some services from their public environment. What VMware cloud, or what we actually called as a cloud, is it's nothing but an approach where we can use services in much efficient way. It is based on demand and based on the availability of the resources, and meant from which we can create a service where it can be accessible from any point of time. And when this kind of availability and IT as a service is available, this is what traditionally we call it as your cloud, rather than calling it a public cloud or a private cloud or some X person's cloud. This is what we call it's a your cloud, where you can freely choose whether you wanted to run your application on within your data center, or you wanted to host in some other's data center, but you can access the services based on your demand and based on your requirement. And at the last, what is mentioning about is the hybrid cloud, because this is what we are, customer is more or the, towards working. And same vision Secretary Sir is also having, where they are saying that my SDC data center is currently my private cloud, but I wanted to make sure that I can use a hybrid cloud technology where I will use my other data centers across the government, where maybe Delhi NIC data center is my next cloud, maybe next private cloud. We said NIC at the data center Delhi. Nagpur could be another data center. Whenever there is a demand, more demand from Nagpur, but that the server is not capable of delivering that resources at that point of time, those applications can easily be migrated to the state data center at Mumbai and access it at any point of time. Similarly, vice versa, if there is a more utilization from state data center at Mumbai, and that point of time, if the hardware is not free, or if hardware is not able to give that much resources, those applications can be migrated or portable to any of the data center which have that much of resources, and easily access the resources at any point of time. So this is the vision which IT Secretary Sir is also having, and we are working towards that direction, that we can create a cloud community portal where all across the boundaries the platform is same, so that application can be migrated. So it's the same example here it is illustrated, where currently the private cloud is what is implemented at the DIT of Maharashtra. And with the help of the VMware solutions...
Bhavesh, you have to conclude in 2-3 minutes because the two speakers...
Yeah, just last thing. So with the help of the VMware solutions, what we are doing is we can easily portable or migrate the application from private cloud to any of the public service providers, and without any changing the application. That's the beauty of the VMware, because once you have to migrate the application from your data center to any of the third data center or any of the public service provider, you need not to change the application. It is simply migration from one environment to another environment, because all the public service providers are using the same VMware platform in the environment. And my last piece is the only VMware delivers the best hypervisor or the best VMware solutions, virtualization solution in the market, with the help of which we reduce the overall capex, opex costs, and with the help of the efficient pooling and automations, we make sure that the overall with the help of the overall solutions, we also make sure that the hardware or the platform is much more reliable and proven, and make sure that there is no downtime or disruption in the overall services. And last thing which I wanted to mention is, because in short of time I'll not be able to go much in detail, but we have a VMware booth outside where we have lot of demos and other things which we can address your queries and concern much in detail. And we have so much of education which we need to give to the end customers. So we welcome all of you to be at the demo. Just be at the time, and we can share what all things we can give as a solutions, or how we can help you in your environment, and how we can take it ahead from them. That's what I wanted to convey.